Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Paladins Gauntlet. For the very first time, the Master Qualifiers are over. The Gauntlet Open Qualifiers are over, and it's time to see who will be coming to land in those precious third spots. Of course, I am not with my usual Hi-Rez pretty hair today. In fact, he's got the pretty hair transpired down and just located down to the bottom here. I wish I could grow something like that. We have our man, one of our designers here. You saw him when Anara was released. This is Kret James Horgan. Dude, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I woke up bright and early, went on a 4-hour bike ride, and now I'm here.
I saw that.
Yeah, just loop right around, end up here.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Nice.
I'm ready to be more than a hero.
That's right.
I'm
and
be a champion.
You know what? You're ready. You're ready with the suit. It's looking. Chat. Is this looking good or not? We got the ebony and ivory here. I feel like this is a good thing starting right now.
He's the good cop. I'm the bad cop.
Exactly. So of course Nick is not with us today, but Kret will be filling in. So excited to get his perspective, his analysis of the game from a behind-the-scenes spot. And of course, he was part of the crew that casted at the Paladins Invitational, if you're aware of that. But before we get into the matches today, we've got a party up weekend, and that means you got to go get online right now when you're not watching, of course, and play with your buddies. That gives you 20% extra gold, 20% extra XP each game you play. If you have a booster, you're already getting that boosted. It's just nuts and nuts and nuts and bolts and more.
Yeah, boost upon boost, get that experience, get that gold, get your mastery ranks up a little bit. You know, go for 20, maybe go for 25.
Maybe something cool is happening at 20. I don't know.
Nah.
Probably not. Probably not. Okay, well then definitely, if you don't get that and you want just some cool skins, you don't want to play too much, you just want the hot action, well, I know a spicy Spaniard that you could probably check his new skin out for. FN01 Fernando in the Helios Force chest. Correct. This is just money.
That's right. This was so much fun. I got to write the voice pack on this one, which was
really?
a blast. Yep. So, you know, I did my research. I had a lot of fun with this one, and it's a great chest. It's a great chest with a lot of cool stuff in it. You know, not just the Helios Force Fernando, but it's also got Star Slayer Ruckus.
You got the Star Slayer Ruckus, and you've got the Trigger Man Buck. I see,
well,
you already have one of them.
I'm the Kingpin, you're the Trigger Man.
Okay,
and we're good.
There it is. So we got both representatives there. Again, ebony and ivory. That is the theme as well. And we've got 40% off some normal skins. Infiltrator Pip, Tribesman Grok. I don't know what that was. I think I missed my whole hand there. But Infiltrator Pip and Tribesman Grok, if you want some of that green in your life.
That's actually the Grok that I use when I'm playing Grok.
I think, is that a key?
For the orange.
Yeah. Is that a key part of the watermelon Grok?
It is. Well, and it works better. I like the way it works with the emotes. You're like, oh, I'm not going to finish that one.
Exactly, dude. By the way, it just feels great to be on the ground. I don't have to stand on any box because Nick's and I
we're normal heights.
But I'm feeling ground. It just feels good. It feels right, you know, where we're supposed to stand. Guys, I'm excited. Let's head into the standings so you can see exactly what we have ahead of ourselves today. Of course, if you're not familiar with the Gauntlet, this is the last chance for all of these teams from North America and Europe to make their way to the LAN. And what will be happening here, James, is we will be casting both Europe and North America. There are 3 teams here. There will be 2 games per basically side and region. It will start with the winners of the Open Gauntlet qualifiers playing against the 4th seed in the Masters qualifiers. So the team that came in last in kind of the pro circuit that we've been running, they will fight. Not to the death, but to see who moves on and faces the 3rd seed. That's why that seeding last weekend was so important. So, for example, EU will see Wolves and Flashpoint face off first. The winner of that, a best-of-3 set, will move on to face Interlopers, and the winner of that will move on and be invited to the actual Masters LAN here on April 7th, starting out to get their chance for that $75,000 prize pool.
And remember, these are elimination matches. It's a best-of-3, and if you go down 2 games, you lose 2, you're out.
That's right.
You can't make it a Masters. So, you know, these teams in this first match, they got to win this best-of-3, then the next if they want to go the whole way. But we're going to open up on Stonekeep, our most recent map.
Yes. A fantastic map, and a lot of the pros really like this map. We see not often Serpent Beach bans, though, Kret. That's a pretty standard map that people like. Fish Market, pretty consistent, taken off the board for some reason. Just not a lot of teams feel confident on that. But Stonekeep, one they really love to play on. I think it's because of the wide open spaces, but also it's just a good-looking map. Teams feeling comfortable.
Yeah, totally. I think Stonekeep is really just the sort of map where it is kind of similar to Serpent Beach in that it's just sort of fair, right? Like, it's a nice way to start the set because you know, I feel like whatever sort of composition you tend to run, like maybe you really like running that double front line with the big heavy Torvald in your face, right? It works here. Pretty much everything works here. So you just, you know, you gotta You gotta go in, put your best foot forward, and win the first game on Stone Keep. Great way to start a series.
100% there. Jaguar Fall still on the board, notably Frozen Guard, another one we like to see. As we head into the champion draft, it is an interesting point to set the stage for this game. We do have Wolves versus Flashpoint. Now, Flashpoint and Wolves were actually scheduled to play each other in the ESL this Thursday, but both teams ended up not being able to field a player when their match came up. To me, this sounds like both teams were really, maybe it happened, but maybe both teams were just saying, I'm not giving any tips on what I'm about to do. I want to maybe pull out something surprising. I want to make sure that you are not seeing me at all before then. You have no extra practice on what I might pull out.
Well, so far, I don't agree with you. This is fairly standard. I mean, Makoa,
it sure is.
Fantastic tank.
It sure is.
And great against the Drogos, because Drogos, he's up in the air. He's so annoying, but you just pull him down. Pull him back down to earth, beat him up. Shaolin, another great pick from Wolves. So I'm not seeing anything sneaky yet.
Sure.
But this is the first game in the best of 3 on Stone Keep. This is where you play standard.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just try and beat him up. The Bomb King recently did get some improvements on high ping.
Very strong Bomb King buff right there as well. Plus the RPD last patch, I believe, just increasing his ability to kind of explode in an area, and that means the way pro players play it, where you're detonating mid-air, makes it that much easier to confirm air shots onto champions like Drogos, and Pip when he's bouncing around as well, who gets locked in. Pip, probably the best ultimate, I would say, aside from Drogos, in the game right now. It's so good at just changing your tide, and against the Makoa, who no longer has CC immunity.
Yeah, so that's going to be big. Strong heals coming out from Wolves as well. Grok a little bit, he's not really a healer, right? Like, you're probably bringing him for the shock pulse damage. Not to say that you couldn't go healing on Grok and couldn't heal up your tanks. You can definitely do that, but he's not as versatile as Maldamba, who could just heal tanks all day.
That's why we see him as that pseudo healer, right? We often see the Pip and the Grok in tandem with the Ying and the Maldamba. Pick your poison, whichever one you like, but you need that main healer, you need that pseudo healer, and we all know Pip's a flanker at heart anyway, right, guys? Come on now, everybody. So here's the last pick. It will be a Fernando. Not surprised he's back in the meta with the changes to Immortal. That's going to keep it that much more reliable when he pops his ultimate and stays safe. But also, we haven't seen Flex here, but I think he's come back because that execute, when the Immortal popped, it's going to do nothing.
That's for sure. All right, well, let's check out this game on the left. Flashpoint Esports are going to be running Fisheko on Bomb King, Faenex on Ruckus, CogCog on Maldama, Northernberg on Grok, and Cephalic Cloud on Makoa.
And just quickly, over on their legendaries here, Accelerant for Fishko's Bomb King, Aerial Assault for Faenix's Ruckus, Spirits Chosen for Maldamba's, CogCog's Maldamba, Maelstrom for Grok as anticipated, and Half Shell for Makoa. On the other side of things, we see NTBees with Aegis going for Fernando, that shield keeping it up. Catalyst for Simsiloo, Pip, one of the best in the world. Recurve for Shaolin, Mutustiina, another highlight player, Fuselage Drogos, and Sleepy with the Resonance Shatter. What do you think about that Resonance?
Aggro Ying. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of damage out of the red team's composition, right? They're running the single front line. Pip is the least healer there is. So, you know, I love the red card pickups for the Cauterize, for the Wrecker. Just going to do a ton of damage this match and see if they can beat down the front line of their opposing team.
As they head to battle here, NTBees with the FNO1 Fernando skin, trying to find a little bit of damage. Will burst down Cephalic Cloud, largely force the healing potion out of Pip immediately, and there the shield comes up. He's got the Aegis, meaning he's got a lower cooldown on the shield, and it will not drop unless they burn it down. So he is safe unless they decide to go contest him on the point for now. 21% for Wolves already. Faenex jumps in for Flashpoint.
Yeah, Ruckus moving to the front line. He's doing a ton of damage and pushes back Wolves. They need to regroup and get back in here, but the half shell is coming down. The repulsor field is on cooldown. This could be an opportunity if they choose to seize it. And Fernando, he's moving forward. He's getting pulled forward, but drops his shield, and first blood going the way of Simsiloo.
Simsiloo, one of the better Pips in the world. We know that, and he helps his buddy to finish off the kill. Fisheko, though, gets sleepy, and NTBees with just a fraction of health stays alive, but CogCog able to bring him down with Maldamba's damage. Right now, Flashpoint have had the advantage thus far, and Fisheko able to zone out with this Bomb King. The increased distance on those bombs gonna give him a little bit of room, and that is the objective captured for Flashpoint already.
Yeah, that Flashpoint Bomb King, man, he was just doing so much damage from range, which really tells you how skilled this player is. A pull on Fernando, some nice damage. It's not gonna confirm the kill. It's this Fernando. He's getting the heavy heals, and he's gonna be fairly hard to take down, as when Ying doesn't go for her healing legendary, she's actually better at healing a single target.
Absolutely.
Less healing overall, but for healing that tank, man, it's going to help out.
Exactly, and that's what Moldova largely brings, right? The counter to her, that single target healing with the Minting Spirits, although the Gourd is still there. But right now, first thing on my mind is the King Bomb. We've seen Lazy have a couple of troubles on this map. See maybe a Lazy ult here, or will we see a Fisheko ult, something that gets the job done? He's got a 2-streak. He could go on the right side here. Poppy Bomb, maybe not used. Northernberg here just holding down the front line as well. And we see Fisheko get a kill onto Mutustiina. Still's got the ult there, but he is falling very, very low. He's under the shell shield. What a great play there by the support. Minute and 30 seconds left, and that will be Slashwhine slowing this push.
And that's so critical because Fisheko, he's the primary damage threat. I mean, sure, Ruckus and Makoa have their moments, but Bomb King has to swing all match long if you want to make sure that the opposing team is going down. So great kill from that Shaolin, take him out of the fight, and now you bought some time. Fishko's on his way back, but he's not there yet, and I want to see Wolves figure out a way to get through that tank line of their opposing Flashpoint Esports.
Mutustiina here in the back line with the fire spit. It's actually not going to connect on that one, and we will see actually NTBees going forward. Just trying to zone out here. 50 seconds left, and there's a fire spit into the salvo. What we're oftentimes seeing some of these players do is actually using that fire spit with the salvo in tandem to go ahead and just make a world of pain if you stand in the nearby location. But here's a King Bomb ready. There's a Dragon Punch. This could be something. Mutustiina trying to shut things down. Going for Faenex.
Ooh. Very close to getting away there, but will fall in the end, and that's the problem with Dragon's Fury at those high-level matches. You're going to end up out of position. Now, Pit, he's in trouble. Simsiloo is going to bounce away. He's going to stay alive, and Fisheko, he's got to be careful because his back is going to blow, but here's the King Bomb. Going in big.
Fisheko takes Slashwhine down, up in the air. Fisheko with a double kill. Oh, this could be bad for the Bomb King. He's looking for a few more. Faenex there, ulting in the back line. Fisheko will find yet another one. CogCog will get NTBees there at Fisheko. He's not letting this rampage stop at all. Pit will fall. Simsiloo will eat the Bomb King's bombs, and that is a 2-0 push for Flashpoint.
An absolutely unbelievable play coming out from the Bomb King, who, I mean, he just does so much more damage. Like, he's always been good, right?
Sure.
But up until recently, he's been very hard to be consistent on.
Absolutely.
Now, with the changes to lag compensation, you can play him much better in a long-land environment. You get the practice, and you can get those hits. Fisheko is fighting at all ranges, whereas previously we saw the Bomb King that sails through the air, maybe with accelerant, right? Really sneaky, really quiet, comes up behind you, 1, 2, dead.
And it feels like that generally was kind of the purpose of it, right? As a Bomb King, you want to be able to not have to flank to get your damage off, and it feels like Fisheko and other Bomb King players are able to do that with some of these changes now, but he still wants to go aggressive here. He's going to throw the Grubby Bomb out largely, but he's still going to stay from distance, try to control this left tower, which gives the players a lot of times, especially the Ruckus and the Bomb King here, to just the ability to look down on the battlefield and just wail on their enemies. He gets 3 grouped up there, and wow, Flashpoint with Northernberg. The damage is unreal. Wolves Esports just falling at the seams right now with a great anticipatory Tempest to keep his tanks alive.
I mean, that's the way you use Grockle, right? You're like, all right, this is our moment to push forward. I'm going to heal my tanks, and I'm going to speed them up, because tanks, usually they've got maybe one discrete moment of mobility, but what they need is the ability to charge forward, and that was great timing coming out of Flashpoint's Grock. And now zoning in the front line is Fisheko. He's fearless because with 85%, even if he dies, this point is still going the way of Flashpoints, and they're going to be up 3-0.
There's just so much objective control, and it seems like wise decision-making coming out from Fisheko and Flashpoint as a whole. They're not rushing in on this. They're actually playing this Bomb King so well, just watching the corridors. You know, I'm surprised we haven't seen Mutustiina hit a fire spit out here, especially knowing that it is just the Bomb King. But they just want to be defensive as well for Wolves, knowing their back is against the wall here. 3-0 goes the score for Flashpoint. The payload continuing to push, about 35% on the way, and 2 minutes left. That's a bunch of time to make this happen.
It is, but Fisheko around the side, and he's going to find a kill coming in onto the Fernando. Poppy Bomb away, but he's still got a shot here.
Oh, Fisheko finds 2, even in the air, avoiding the damage. A 13 streak for the Bomb King, and he is looking to zone out here. 1 minute and 44 seconds, but that largely could have spelled defeat for Wolves Esports since their entire team collapsed, and they've got to wait for 5, but now it'll only be 4, and there's a Poppy Bomb trying to get him off the ledge, but double kill for Fisheko. The only thing that can stop him is turning him into a chicken. Simsiloo trying to bring hope to his team, but a Hexafire may shut that dream down.
Well, they're going to use the Fernando, and it will still keep them alive, but Flashpoint, sure, maybe they lose this fight. They've got a minute to come back and do it again. A pull on the Sim. That's huge, and they might be able to take it here.
Drogo's in the air. He's going to actually slay Faenex. Northernberg falls. I cannot believe that Wolves have been able to hold here. Mutustiina in the back line finishes off Fisheko and actually gets him to use the King Bomb. So 60 seconds left. It is right at the precipice of being pushed in. 3-0 right now for Flashpoint. This game means so much to these players, but they've done a lot right now.
You know, that King Bomb, right? It didn't really do anything. I'm not super concerned about it because I think it'll be up for the next point fight.
Yes.
But if they had it here, this could have been a lot easier. They do have the Makoa ult, but they don't have a pull. He's impaled into the wall. Now Simsiloo, he's doing a lot of damage. This support is dangerous, but he's still going to fall and actually fall to the other support, Maldamba.
Simsiloo gets Northernberg, though, and that is big. Maldamba, pops the heat haze and then dies. That is no ultimate next point fight. That is no ultimate right now. Fisheko still alive, and CogCog with a 162 health decides to push this. And Ancient Rage is popped. He's not CC immune, but they know that Pip doesn't have his ult, and he is not scared. This should be, this could be, will it be Flashpoint's victory here? A nice plan, but he's going to get hooked back. And oh boy, Faenex is here just trying to get rid of Mutustiina, who is largely the only threat. But with the Aegis Fernando back, something could happen for Wolves. They're requiring a lot of the stars to align there, though, but it doesn't seem like it will. And incredible play by Flashpoint, 4-0ing on Stone Keep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? They had the aggressive, they had the double heal, the double tank, right? And when you're running that, you gotta end the game quick, because as Wrecker, as Cauterize comes online, a lot of the things that you're relying on, they cease to really be as effective. Yeah. But that was nice and quick. That's exactly what we needed out of Flashpoint. And
I you know, one of the things I looked at too is that they had a lot of control, they had a lot of damage, they had a great, well-rounded composition here. Whereas I felt that the Fernando, although I think really good, coming back in with maybe the Lex introduced here and providing that Immortal to be just a lot more valuable, maybe wasn't as synergistic as the Barrack might have been with the Ying. We talk about the deployable Nightmare, we talk about Ying and just being hard to shoot those clones and shoot the turrets. And, you know, I just honestly think that maybe the Aegis Fernando, although 102,000 shielding, did a lot, just wasn't able to contribute enough damage to this fight to really, I think, make a difference.
I mean, I think if you're gonna run Fernando, this is the game, right? Like, there's no Torvald, right?
Yeah.
Because Fernando, he likes to go on the point, he likes to pull up his shield, and Torvald's like, man, it's lunchtime, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really what you're looking for, and I think Bees played it well, but, you know, you might be right that Barrack, he could have just added a lot more stuff to the fight, more stuff to absorb shots, and really take time away from Fisheko, who, for me, was the story of this game. I mean, 82,000 damage. He was the primary damage dealer for his team, and I mean, he really sort of did it all by himself in terms of dealing that damage.
He absolutely did. Fisheko with an incredible game there. 82,000 on the board for him. 2,000 credits as well. Looking like Lex out here leading these credits. And, of course, Wolves still going to be able to play as we head into the map screen. They've got one more map to tie things up. Otherwise, Flashpoint, who are the Gauntlet Open Qualifier winners, coming out of nowhere here. Not nowhere, but not in the Masters qualifiers. They might just upset Wolves and push this into the third seed Interlopers.
I mean, we saw a very, very good double frontline composition come out of Flashpoint. And when I think about double frontline, really, I'm thinking about Jaguar Falls because it's tight.
Yeah.
Right? Like, where are you going to find the angles to shoot down on them to blow them up?
Definitely.
The game can end very quick, so you know, Flashpoint, man, they could be at a big advantage here.
I think Flashpoint did largely a good job. And again, we didn't even point out the front line in the game, but I think that largely, it may not be that the Fernando was the bad pick, but they just didn't have enough to contend with the Ruckus and the Makoa.
Yeah.
Just relying on that Ying and then largely going for the damage options of the Shaolin, the Pip, right? The double healer there wasn't as impactful, I think, in terms of just being able to contend on those long withstanding point fights. And so we see Flashpoint again lean towards the Makoa. Despite the CC immunity nerf, still first pick.
I mean, he's still quite good, but, you know, I like skipping the Drogos here. It's a little tight. Drogos is good on any map, but this might be one of his worst, right? Because he just can't get as many angles to shoot down on you. Shaolin's still great. I mean, there's more walls, so more impales, but it's still going to be double tanks. I mean, Makoa and Barrack, right? So still doubling up, but this time they don't have the damage reduction, so they are susceptible to Wrecker.
Exactly, and this time we actually see Wolves with the Ruckus, which largely tells me they will be matching this double tank, and they're going to be fine if it's a Fernando at the end, and they're going to also be fine if they have to run something like a Torvald, which could do well here especially with the Ruckus boosting him with Field Study. 40% extra damage on Ruckus's damage already. It's pretty decent, but this time, probably the bigger story is that they take away the Bomb King from Fisheko.
But do they have the player for it, right? Like, is there a Bomb King player on this team? I mean,
yeah.
Like, who's going to play it?
Honestly, you know, Mutustiina has been an incredible flex for them, and he's played a lot of, you know, their champions that are looking to carry here. But I wonder, it's really, we haven't seen Wolves bring out Bomb King very often, so who it's going to go is almost a crapshoot between them. I could see a lot of places that could be valuable, but overall, it does show me one thing, and it's consistent. Bomb King is definitely back, at least in this series meta. And there it is, the last pick, Fernando, as I mentioned, just kind of flexing that. And they seem to like to run it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also they're just not really feeling the Torvald. He did get a nerf to his protection timing.
Yeah.
9 seconds instead of 7. It does reduce the uptime of that 40% damage, which is going to be a big hit for someone like Ruckus who really wants as much as possible.
Yeah.
Now, heading into game, I mean, up against the wall, Wolves, they need to make this Bomb King work, piloted by Simsiloo.
Wow.
And I mean, he had some moments of brilliance on that pip.
Sure.
He had some really good ults, but he really wasn't there through the entire game.
Fusilad Drogo's introducing the teams here for Northernberg. CogCog running Ripon, Gord, Maldamba. Maelstrom Grok for Fisheko here on Flashpoint. Fortify, Barrack, so extra shielding for Faenex. And Pluck Makoa for Cephicloud.
Simsiloo on the other side, he's running Accelerant, so really looking for the mobility. Sleepy on Ying, this time going for lifelike. So the double heals for the double tanks. Recurve on Shaolin for that DPS. Slashwhine on the repulsor field, he's going to be strong on the point. And Fernando, yet again with the Aegis, if you don't kill that shield, it's just going to stay there.
They're going to rely a lot on Drogos' damage here, Flashpoint. He's got to make work of this death ball because they're already set up, and Faenex decides to go to the corner, but Ruckus is caught out here, and Simsiloo finds a kill on a Cephicloud. That's one tank down, and they're looking to find one more. Wolves Esports not willing to give up so quickly. One bomb is stuck. And he will fall. Faenex actually to Simsiloo yet again. So switching off the pip onto the Bomb King seems to make all of it better. And Wolves Esports in total control, 57%
I mean, this
counting.
is just all Simsiloo, right? Drogos can't even get in. He's done a fair bit of damage, but I feel like it's just been healed right up. Whereas Bomb King, right, he's just going to do damage, and he's going to get kills off of it immediately with the planet on Shaolin picking up the Makoa again, and that's twice. He's gotten a pull and immediately died.
And the problem is who's going to jump the Bomb King? Who is going to get to the back line? Who is going to be able to do that? I just don't see it. I see a lot of consistent pressure, but Flashpoint is relying on getting there first. They've got to get set up. They got to get Barrack set up. They've got to get the Maelstrom Grok shock pulse bounces coming through. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Makoa is going to have to play big and really take this Bomb King down with a hook. Otherwise, I do not see them breaking through this. Wolves Esports already 1-0 as the push starts with 2 minutes and 12 on the clock.
I love the way the Fernando gets pulled, and he doesn't really worry about it. Just charge away, put up your shield, be fine. That pull, though, is going to be a little bit more effective as Shaolin does go down. Bomb King's still looking for those stickies. He hasn't really found them right now.
That's right. Grumpy Bomb's still going to be a great zone. And there's a great hook there by Cephicloud. He's doing what he needs to do for a squad, and that's another kill. He needs to keep feeding this. Northernberg in the back line, he's definitely got the damage, but does he have the mobility? Does he have the opportunity to really deal that damage to where it needs to be dealt, when it needs to be dealt, to Wolves' lineup right now? That's the question I think he needs to answer for us.
Well, here's the thing, right? In Paladins, our tanks are called frontline, and like this, if you pull one and the other's there, they're just moving their frontline, and now the King Bomb coming out, pop, dead as CogCog goes down on Maldamba, not able to avoid the ult with Slither, and he's gonna suffer for it.
Smooth criminal right there, going right back after he gets the kill into the totem for healing. They're gonna pop right back to his team, just bouncing around all the good things, and this is what Cephicloud needs to do. Poppy Bomb is down, and that is the kill. Northernberg picks it off. This is what we need to see Flashpoint do if they're gonna actually have a chance in this game, and again, Cephicloud comes up big, feeding Northernberg with a kill on the Mutustiina.
Yeah, you know, and I'm gonna say that was a mistake from Simsiloo, right? He poppied in when he could have just walked. He didn't need to outflank anyone, he's just catching up. On the other side, though, that Shaolin, he's just trying to do damage. That's the problem with Planet. You're still, man, you're an easy target.
Absolutely, largely with Bomb King, you know, wasting that mobility. Although it comes up quickly and you get so much space, if Makoa catches you in that moment of vulnerability, yeah, you can be as tanky as you want, but Fusilad, Drogos, and Makoa Pluck, that's going to burn almost anybody in the champion roster down. A really nice job by Fisheko here to the zone. He wants to use those Yin clones to bounce it off, or maybe a stationary tank, just like Ruckus. And look at this Maelstrom. Oh my God, Fisheko just abusing this legendary right now. He and Cloud will make sure it happens and gets the kill onto Slashwhine as well. Flashpoint just falling at this defensive pressure from Wolves.
And they just got to pull back here. I mean, they're not going to push it the rest of the way. 60% off of a full overtime. So this is the correct decision. Maybe get some poke damage, get some ults up. Right now, it looks like it's going to be like 4-3. So we're in a decent spot for Wolves. They're at 1-1. They're already doing better.
The thing that can really turn this fight is getting rid of one of these tanks. And of course, I think CogCog with the Dread Serpent. It's going to come down to a lot of these big moments, Kret, because of course that disruption is really going to be one of the only things that can break up this death ball.
Absolutely, but you know, with the Dread Serpent, you really need Northernberg doing the damage. Fisheko, he's going to constantly be shock pulsing everyone, and that does a lot of damage in the long term. But off the Dread Serpent, you want kills, and that's all about this Drogoz player. He's got to hit those rockets directly, which really is more about positioning than aim, right? They're going to be running in a straight line. You just got to make sure you're not dying in the process.
Northernberg going to rely so much, and if I'm Wolves, I'm seeing if we can take him out quickly. That would be my #1 Bomb King target, but there it is, already set up, and this is just nuts. Faenex is just getting to a rhythm, and he's already hit 3. Make that 4 shock pulses, make it almost 5 here, and he is just absolutely free-firing, and now they're going to be forced to drop back. Wolves no longer looking like the same team, and Slashwhine will go down. Northernberg and Fisheko will pick up 2 of their own. And the Grumpy Bomb seems to be the last remnant of a falling Wolves pack here, with 33% and counting for Flashpoint.
And here the Mako is pushing forward. No one can get picked from Wolves. They had the ultimate sub, they used Heat Haze, but they didn't get a chance to use anything else. And Flashpoint didn't need to. Shock Pulse pushed everyone back, and now they've got everything for the push, but it's King Bomb in the air.
He's got to get CogCog. This is huge. This is big. Okay, if he stays alive here, he might have it popping in 1. Oh, this is big. And the Immortal. There's the Grumpy Bomb. He's got to stay alive here. They've moved fully in, and their zone could be just strong enough. But I like the damage, but I'm also worried if somebody comes over to the corner. No one spotted Simsiloo out. He is their win condition. If he could stay alive, which he has thus far, that means good business for them. But it's all about getting Fisheko out of this fight here. Simsiloo gets the kill. Northernberg is down. Will he find Fisheko? No, Fisheko will win the better end of that, but Wolves now fully submitted on the point.
Yeah, they've got a really, really strong position here, and the decoys, while they're an easy target for shock pulse, they're also absorbing damage, and they're healing it back up. Now, Barrack in the center, he's got his flame turret. It does a fair amount of damage. He's going to be safe inside. Look at him healing up, being safe, but Fernando, he's trying to hold his ground, and he just can't. 96%!
What a Tempest there by Fisheko. 16 streak for him, whether on the Bomb King or whether on the Grok. He's making it happen for his squad. Flashpoint largely surprising here and taking down Wolves yet again with the lead, 2-1. And now tying things up in credits as well. 17 streak for the Grok using that love. I don't know, lightning staff, I guess.
Yeah, the lovey-dovey lightning staff, as I like to call it. Grok doing a ton of damage with that, but, you know, I saw Bomb King going in the sky, and he's doing a fair amount of damage here. The problem is he needs to find damage that isn't going to immediately get healed up. This Makoa, playing so intelligently around the corners, he only needs, like, 1 second to go out in the open, get that pull, get that kill. So you got to be very careful and try and find a way to catch him out and kill him.
Now, we did see, with 1 minute and 46 seconds left, some potential to push this all the way through with the way Fisheko and squad are playing, but we've also seen the potential to hold, as we thought Wolves largely had the advantage, but Flashpoint were able to turn things around after looking at dismal at the very beginning of this game. It's largely going to come down to Fisheko here. The damage numbers must be absolutely nuts for this Grok, and the push continues here. 74k damage, beating the Drogoz, 20,000 ahead of the Bomb King, 30,000 ahead of the Shaolin in this game, and here's a King Bomb. This could honestly make a big difference. He's going to get Northernberg. If he can get CogCog too, there's a Dread Serpent. They just might have something.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice Poppy Bomb to keep him alive, but now he's not really in the position to get more kills. He's got the 1v1 against Makoa. Dodging the hook, he's got a good chance. Bees is going to find that one with the Fireball. And an escape from Bomb King. It's going to hold Flashpoint back. They still got a minute, man. They can push back in. They can still do this and go up 3-1.
This is the dream scenario for Fisheko right now. He's still on the 18 streak, but you got to remember, if Simsiloo able to pick up Fisheko here, he's going to get an 18 streak worth of ultimate charge back to his name, and that could be huge. Actually, Drogoz going to get stunned out by the Grumpy Bomb, and actually at the end of that, looking to just go away from that area, so that stun didn't take him into the enemy team. one, and largely disappoints because Slashwhine picks up 2, 3 make it, and Simsiloo and NTBees get the others, and that is somebody getting that ultimate charge.
It was Simsiloo, actually.
Was it Simsiloo?
It was like 40%, man, from that one kill, and that's going to be big. They're probably going to hold here, and you're looking at, you know, you almost got the Bomb King ult, you almost got the Ying ult, you've got the Fernando ult. It's a decent position going into the 3rd round, but it's a final push coming out from Flashpoint. They do have ultimates to burn here. The question is, do they want to use them?
Record 2 coming through, just burning the shields down. Grumpy Bomb almost available. He wants the King Bomb, but he doesn't want to do it now if he doesn't have a chance. Oh, God, the railing saves him there. A great stun as well. Simsiloo will take CogCog, and here's the King Bomb. He's just going for it. Whoa, gets popped up in the air. Stuns 3. Looks for the Cloud, and he will not win that battle. Fisheko will come in the backside and make a double kill for himself. Oh, God, Fisheko might just turn this whole thing around, but in overtime, doesn't give him enough time to do so. Still on a 3 streak in an even game, 2-2.
You know, deep into that overtime, you got to stay on the point the whole time, and we haven't said his name, man, but Shaolin, he is just destroying 8 streak right there, and that hold was because of him. Just hitting those shots, right? His ultimate, it is a damage increase because you draw your bow faster, but really you're just doing that damage all the time. It's all about hitting those shots, and he's really nailing it. Able to hold for Wolves, now tied up 2-2 in what looked pretty risky.
It absolutely did. Both teams surprised on the defensive as well, where we kind of saw one team largely have the advantage going into that and seemed like the momentum had completely shifted. But this is the Gauntlet. No one knows what will happen. Not even these teams here. They're both fighting for their lives, fighting for a chance to have a chance at $75,000 coming up April 7th. And so this means everything right now. Mutustiina, the man on the tongue. Shaolin looking for an impale, can't find it yet. Goes into the planet anticipating he would get something. Just had to risk it, but doesn't pay off.
Those are long cooldowns, man. Not finding that there is going to be dangerous. He will have his ultimate up, and he's going to have another impaler. The question is, what can he do with it? Right now, the Wolves, they've got some point time, but they don't have any advantages here. And actually, they're Fernando in a fair bit of trouble. He's going to fall. That's the first pick of this team fight.
He was just too aggressive there, and he just fell into the trap. Ancient Rage is here, and they don't have any ultimates to respond with. In fact, no ultimates on the side of Wolves Esports, so they're going to have to do this the original way, the old school way, but Northernberg with a nice rocket down in the skies is going to clean up the retreating Ruckus, and Slashwhine will fall. Northernberg here largely going to zone them out, and I don't know, Cret, looks real tough for them to be able to make it back on this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think they needed the immediate impale on the McCall, and it just wasn't there. Maybe because of positioning, maybe it was already used, I don't know, but that's what had to happen. Now 99% will cap up 3-2, but remember, if this is not converted, the game will tie up 3-3.
That's right.
And at the 12-minute mark, we're getting in the late game, man. You've got Wreckers online, you've got Cauterizers online. Both double tanks have to be more and more careful.
But this Northernberg right now is just playing out of his mind, hitting long-range fire spits, hitting the salvos. The direct shots are so valuable onto the stationary tanks like Ruckus, and just he can't move. He's trying to defend, but another 1275 just from range. No one expects that, and it is turning this fight. Fusillade Legendary largely making a huge impact for this push for Flashpoint. They're already past 50%, 3-2 on the score. If they push this again, they will win, but Northernberg picks up a big kill. There's CogCog going in with the Dread Serpent, and Salvo looks pretty good, and Slashwhine having to back off.
I mean, absolutely destructive from Northernberg. He's doing so much damage this fight, right? He's just taking over for Fisheko. Who he's playing beefy, he's playing strong on the front line, right? But it's all about Northernberg dealing the damage up in the air. It is going to be the Drogo Assault, but taken down real quick. Bees actually able to kill him, I think, with the charge.
Unreal. The Tempest, though, is going to do the work they need. This could be it, Cret. It looks like the momentum has fully shifted now towards Flashpoint, and if they win this one, that means they're going ahead to game number 2 to face off against Interlopers. Wolves putting everything they have on the line. Their back is against the wall, and with a shock pulse hitting as many as he can, and with the staggering play coming out, Fisheko is free firing a 15 streak for him. He's going to heal up his tank, and boy, this does not look good.
Man, it's going to be immortal. I mean, that'll buy some time. Respawns in 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He's going to fall, though. Ruckus, he's on the point. 60% damage reduction, but not enough as he moves away or gets pushed away. I'm not sure which. Flashpoint with the solid 2-0. Double tank is very clearly their business, and Fisheko is very clearly their star player, doing so much damage both games. The Bomb King and the Grok, which honestly are completely different play styles.
Oh my God, so different, and yet still performing at such a high level on both. Pretty phenomenal performances there by Fisheko, but also by Northernberg on the Drogos. Yeah. Hit some incredibly accurate direct shots that I think changed the fight, getting the double kill onto the Shaolin, taking down the healer as well. It was just money play by everyone on Flashpoint, and man, they seem to have surprised Wolves because they weren't expecting to lose.
Though, right? The unsung hero here is Cloud, because late in the game, I mean, we went to 16 minutes, right? So this was a fairly long game. And when you got the Hi-Rez online, when you get the Wrecker online, and you're a tank, your role starts to change. You can't be tanking the front line. You can't rely on your healer.
Yeah.
And out of the 4 tanks in this match, Cloud was by far the best player at dealing with the Wrecker, dealing with the Hi-Rez, and still doing his job.
And you still see Sleepy, having 141,000 healing to his name, almost, with 20,000 more, doubling what CogCog was able to do, but keeping Cloud alive. Only 6 deaths, only 7 deaths for Faenex and Cloud. And for the side of, where Sleepy, although all that healing was there, NTBees died 10 times. Slashwhine died 8 times. Both tanks having less of a KDA in terms of that, with so much less to work with. So it just meant that CogCog's healing, I think, was that much more appropriate, that much more clutch. And of course, that disruption with the Dread Serpents, gave Northernberg the free-firing moments that he really needed, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, the game started off, I was a little worried, right? Because Cloud's first 2 pulls didn't work out. He was in a bad position. Both tanks were there. You pull the Fernando, Ruckus jumps in, and suddenly you didn't pull someone out of position. You're out of position. It's going to be a bad time, man. But after that, Cloud, he just immediately picked it up. He started slaying, started getting those kills, and setting up for his damage dealers.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at the standings in Europe. Remember, we've got one more set here in EU to determine the Gauntlet. It will be Interlopers versus Flashpoint. Flashpoint upsetting Wolves, who were the 4th seed in the Masters qualifiers, and now facing off against the 3rd seed. Can they do it? This would largely prove that they should have been there and just didn't get their act together quite yet. Interlopers with Spunky, unbelievable, and that whole squad that we've seen a lot of the veterans kind of shift to. It's going to have a lot to fight for here. A spot at land coming up very soon. guys, we're going to go on a quick break. We will be right back with more EU action. The final match of the Gauntlet for Europe coming up right after this.